Hello everybody, I'm Vim427 and welcome back to Scrap Mechanic. Now, as you could see from the nice little intro there, I've got something a little special to show you guys. Now this is a hover bike. Now obviously I know it's using mods, but well, most of the mods are really just to help make it smaller. Well, let me explain. Pretty much, let me see if I can find it here. I probably should be able to. Ah, here it was. So pretty much, last night, again, according to the day that this video goes up, so pretty much the day before this video actually went up, again, hopefully, I was wanted to, fool around. I wanted to make something in Scrap Mechanic, and I wanted to make something that hovered. I don't know why, I just did. And pretty much after a little bit of fiddling around with some mods, I pretty much came up with this. And, well, yeah. Pretty much, this was a version of that smaller bike there. Just, again, kind of the first model. Now, unfortunately, as you can see, the way the mods kind of ended up working, you can see the things in the first few slots there. Don't press those. But pretty much... Oh, geez. This was the first version of this, and it still works the same. It still hovers the same. It's just that this one is bigger and bulkier and has a lot of unnecessary things. So you can see here that, pretty much it works the same as the smaller one. It's just, though, the fact that it's bulkier. So as you can see, well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. There's obviously been some things that have changed, in the functionality aspect of it. So yeah, pretty much it started off like that, and I'll just get out and show you what it does. Pretty much, long story short, what it is this one's a little bit more, I guess, unwieldy, to say the least, for a few reasons. So pretty much, this one is slimmer. So obviously it's got less weight, so it's a little harder to control, and this one's obviously heavier, so it's easier to control. But pretty much how it works is... Actually, I should probably raise this up. Pretty much, there's sensors here at the bottom on both of them that are set to 20 blocks. And pretty much, if the sensors are obviously, if it's not sensing something below... or within that 20 block range, so pretty much if it gets, I'll just turn that off. Pretty much if it's not sensing something in that 20 block range, you can see here that there's these two modded thrusters that will pretty much activate. So if it senses something within 20 blocks, those will activate. The fact that it's falling down is actually just lag. I've found out if anything goes below 60 frames per second, for even just like a split second, it will do that. So actually, hold on, come to think of it. There we go, that's a little better. But pretty much, yeah. So what it is it's sensors and, oh geez, actually, hold on. Okay, sorry, I just had to restart OBS just to make sure everything is hopefully working okay. So pretty much, yeah, it's sensors on the certain ground, keep it level, and then these sensors, or not sensors, rockets, pretty much, help keep it up as well. So pretty much it's perfectly balanced, which is why there's metal in the back and things like that. Now these ones, this is a modded thruster that isn't exactly necessary. It's more for aestheticness, to make it, again, easier to apply and stuff like that. But pretty much what those front ones do is if I press S, it brings it down. So W goes up, S brings down, then left, right, things like that. And it flies pretty well. So pretty much this bottom thruster down here is for the forward momentum of the thing. So if I press the number 2 key, this pushes it forward. And as you can see, 2 thrusters went on there. There was the actual one pushing it forward, and then there was one at the front here. And pretty much this one at the front, oh geez, well, at the top above here, you can kind of see it right there. Pretty much stops the nose of the vehicle from going up too much and making you fly up straight. So yeah, it's really that simple. And then the main thing that helps keep it upright is the stabilization block. So pretty much I could make this entire thing. In fact, If I wanted to, I could right now, just because this video could be getting short. I could make this entire thing with literally like 2 mods. Heck, maybe not even that. And actually, in fact, probably just the stabilization thing. And obviously it would be bulkier just because the only thrusters that are in the game and base scrap mechanic are the bigger, bulkier ones. Yeah, but other than that, like, yep, come on. It can stay pretty stable, and you can see that if it gets above that 20 block limit, the bottom thrusters there will start to turn on, and then it kind of levels itself out. And then if I press W, I can fine tune it, and as you can see, it hovers perfectly in that spot. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. So what I'm gonna do now is to pretty much show you how actually easy it is to make this bike. I know I can, I can show you, but pretty much it's what I'm wanting to do is, the only mod I can use is the stabilizer. So hold on. There we go. So the only mod I'm allowed to use in this thing is the stabilizer mod, and then everything else needs to be from the actual game. So every button, every switch, everything like that, and yeah. Now, one thing I am going to tell you is the reason why there are 2 of these fancy WASD thrusters things with the WSD thing inverted is pretty much to not only help you turn, but it's also just to really just make the whole up and down driving experience more fluid than having to press. I mean, like, would you prefer to press WASD to go up, down, left, right? Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of thing. Like, would you prefer that kind of? Would you prefer WSD over that kind of thing? So yeah, one thing I am going to do now is I'm going to turn some of these things back on, and then hold on. Let me just. All right, there we go. So yeah, pretty much. Yeah, let's just get into this. So I can only use the stabilizer. That's the only mod I can use. And again, I could have made this with, again, literally the stabilizer mod, which is what I'm going to do right now. By the way, this seat is actually from the real game. So yeah, just so you know, it's not a mod. But pretty much, again, this could have been made with less mods. It's just the fact that I wanted it to be as slim as I possibly could get it. With still being weighted properly. Oh yeah, by the way, this is just that's just an OR and a NOR, and it's pretty much it looks more complicated than it actually is, but really most of the things is, even if you're just looking at it now, is really just to turn everything on, and then this little setup here is just for the sensors. So pretty much, again, it could literally just be an OR gate, and I don't need the AND. This could be like, again, 1 block or smaller, things like that. It's just to make it convenient. So this way it's only pretty much when everything is on, so will the bottom sensors be on. So this way it's the bottom things are always on. Yeah, it's yeah. So let's just get into this. Alright, so I've kind of come to the conclusion that I can't exactly do that. Now, let me explain. Pretty much, the hover bike that you guys saw at the beginning, that was my first build, you could say, of it. It's this one here. No, that was what was considered slim. Even though it's clearly not. There you go. This one. That's demo. Nope. There we go. This one. Pretty much with this one, even with this one, as you can see, I used more mods. Like, even these ones I used mods, because pretty much what the problem ends up being is this right here. Actually, come to think of it. Yeah, this right here. If I can literally take out these two red WSD blocks, because again, at the time I thought I needed them, and again, cut out a few more things, you know, here and there, kind of thing like that. And that could possibly work. But a problem that will arise is the fact that, and you can see it with this here, is the way that it has to be designed. Because pretty much it's, this version totally works on its own. It's still got these big, actual game thrusters here, totally fine. But also it's got these WASD ones and these smaller ones at the bottom. And again, they're smaller because they're smaller, so the way the weight is distributed in the center of mass is different. Also, the seat here is 4 blocks across, while this one here is 3. So the problem that ends up arising is, well, these together equal 4 blocks. So there ends up being an extra block in the center, which is, in this case, where those, so it's pretty much, it's the whole, I can make a totally vanilla creation like this. And again, the only block would be the stabilization block. But with the way that things work, again, there's probably clearly someone who can, do it better than I did. But pretty much that ends up being the problem, is the way that the weight wants to be distributed. And again, oh, we'll just change the seat and then continue. Well, if I change the seat, then I'd literally end up just remaking this one, and it'd be kind of pointless. But yeah, pretty much you can see the actual ease of this. Now, one thing that I haven't gone into great detail of testing is the positioning of the thrusters like this. I just did that because I thought that made it look cool. I thought that'd be, well, cool. It looked pretty neat, and again, it looked futuristic. Like, again, when you see cars in movies that look like they're supposed to be looking from the future, you never see thrusters pointing straight up. You kind of have them on a side, so this way if it turns, there's some more thrust on one side than the other. It's not straight up kind of thing. So I kind of did that. Again, also, I tried it just straight up, but pretty much it helps center some things. So yeah, in all reality, I'm pretty sure, like 9 chances out of 10, someone could actually make a slimmer version than this. And in fact, come to think about it, I think I can make a shorter version of the one, actually. This one right here, right now, actually. But I actually might not. But then again, because see, hold on, if we raise it up here, I could, but I won't. I'll say that for another time. Pretty much, I've made a hover bike, and now that I have the pretty much general idea of how I can make this hovering mechanic work, I might start to make some more hovering vehicles. Now, one thing I am going to do is I'm going to try to limit this to only a couple of mods. Literally, it's, if I'm not mistaken, hold on. Mod pack. There we go. So I believe these are all the blocks from, then again, everything's a mod pack, so yeah, makes sense. Pretty much what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to install a bunch of mods I don't need. Like, I don't think I'm going to need a mod with a bunch of pinballs or anything anytime soon. And if I do, well, then you know how to reinstall it. Actually, come to think of it, the only reason I kept the mod that had I mentioned with the pinballs is because it had these big pipes, but that was about it. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I am going to, bump the microphone, but hey, that's what the shock mat was for. Yeah, I'm gonna remove. I've never been one for. I like to have mods in my games. Don't like to have too many because I end up always. What ends up happening is I go in a thing where I get too much and it just ends up spoiling the experience of the game. And so yeah, so I'm going to pretty much only have a few mods, and then I'll make more hovering creations. I'm not considering. I mean, I might make a series kind of thing, but I'm not going to be like, here's a hovering, futuristic city. It's just going to be, here's a bunch of cars that just happen to not have any wheels and hover. So yeah, if you actually have any suggestions for vehicles you'd like to see, hover, and do some pretty swanky thingamajiggers, leave that down in the comments below. Now, the video itself is going to end up probably being a little short. Like, I've only recorded for like 26 minutes. And considering the fact that there's a time lapse in here that's going to be short and obviously going to be me cutting things out, I'm actually going to make this video a little longer, which just lets me do another thing. And it's the whole, again, second ago I just mentioned, I want to see if I can make this even smaller. Let's try that. One thing you might be noticing is these orange blocks here. Pretty much that is meant for, well, weight distribution. And thinking about it now, I could have probably just easily put them inside of there, but remember, this has to be a perfectly weighted thing, so that might not happen, and the extra bit, because, by the way, those are wood blocks in there, the extra bit of weight of the wood block could perfectly balance it. I don't know. This is the point of what is going to be happening now. So let's just get into this, I guess. So let's actually, hold on. Okay, so one thing that is happening that is kind of... It's one thing that I kind of feared, but understood that it's what would happen, is pretty much... Yeah, did I do that right? No, oh, come on. There we go. I was expecting it to happen, and it sucks that it does, but pretty much it's where pretty much there's... It's actually not heavy enough, so I can't physically make this less powerful. Well, actually, hold on. Let me. I'm probably just about to bite my tongue here, but no, yeah. See, it's at a point where pretty much the extra thrust it gets, needs. It's why it gets it, but it's still, it's excuse me. It's a weird little zone, I guess. And now in making this slimmer, I have just kind of behoned myself. Okay, this is actually kind of going for pretty long. Let's just do like that and see if that does anything. Alright, falling too quickly. Concrete. Blam. Blam. Kind of wants to move forward a bit, but you know what? I'm actually going to say that's working, and it obviously, even with that one, it's not noticeable as much, but it does move forward, so I'm just going to call it hover bike super slim-ish. There we go. There we go, and I'm just going to leave this episode here, so I guess I might as well fly around on this one for now. And leave the video off here. So let's just go on a magical ride. Yeah, okay. And immediately the one other thing that I was kind of fearing has arisen. And that is the fact that it's the way that things incline and decline are a little broken, so I'm actually gonna have to. Alright then, I guess that's still fine. But yeah, so I'm just gonna oh, excuse me, I just ate Oreos before this got a little bit stuck in my throat. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this episode here. If you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to like button if you want to see more content, subscribe and leave a comment down below, as is appreciated. Either way, see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.